And good afternoon. Welcome to the booth on KDXAM with Darren Todd, 1590. And we're here with a very special guest, someone who I've known minutes. Just joking. Amber Brown from the FCC or the Family Counseling Center. Amber, welcome to the booth.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
And Amber, if you want to, it's okay to call you Amber, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what's going on with Amber Brown and FCC.
Well, I am the Director of Peer Support Services, so I love that. I started as a peer support. You know, peer supports are those with a lived experience, whether it be mental health or behavioral health, substance use. And so I started there in 2019 and grew and saw all that they were doing, and I absolutely loved it. I love seeing the vision that they have and growing with the consumers and growing with the staff. And so I've just been there ever since. And so now I have the opportunity to direct peer supports.
And in talking a little bit about Family Counseling Center, a lot of people call it FCC.
Yes.
How extensive of a footprint does FCC have in our region?
Huge. Huge. It started in a basement. You know, a small substance use program, 1976, it has grown. And so you take a vision, you turn it into a reality. They took goals and they made them be able to reach people all over 19 counties that we serve.
There are facilities in 19 different counties, is that correct?
And our core counties are Dunklin, Pemiscot, Butler, Wayne, Reynolds, Ripley, and Carter. So we have 7 core counties. But yeah, we serve 19.
And what are some of the services that are provided to the residents of the region?
Absolutely. We have mental health services. We have substance use services. We do crisis services for everyone in crisis 24/7. We have a mobile unit. We have housing. We have ITCD, which really, people come and they'll have therapy, they'll have psychiatry services, but the ITCD really links it together and you have the same treatment team. We have firearm services. We have federal program, a probation program that helps people when they come out of prison and that are on probation. It's just absolutely wonderful.
And we're here with welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. We got Amber Brown from Family Counseling Center talking a little bit about the services of the FCC. And most people do call it FCC. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
FCC Behavioral Health.
Behavioral Health. And you indicated that you have of 19 counties, 7 core counties. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And tell me a little bit about Amber Brown. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You seem like an interesting person. What's going on with Amber Brown behind the scenes?
Well, thank you. So I loved what I do at FCC. And outside of FCC, I travel and minister. I'm a minister of the gospel. I do that. I mentor 16-year-olds to 25-year-olds. I do that. I do some podcasting. Rise to the Mission. That is the podcast that I do because I believe that anyone can have hope where they are and be able to rise above anything that they have faced in their life and be able to get to a place where they want to reach.
And talk a little bit about Rise to the Mission, the podcast. If I was wanting to do that, and I'm somewhat of a novice in all this stuff now, I'm 52, but I act like I'm about 97 when it comes to technology. And Mooring, my producer, can agree to that. In that Mooring. He's shaking his head. Tell us a little bit about the podcast. If we wanted to watch the podcast or follow it, how do we do that?
You can go on Amber M. Brown on Facebook. I do it on there, and then on YouTube, you can find me, Rise to the Mission.
And is it spiritually based? Is it based upon past experiences, or is it just something that touches you each day that you feel like you need to get out there to the world?
Each day, sir. Each day to get out there to the world. Of course, it is faith-based, but there are parts of it that are absolutely going to reach anybody and everybody where you are, with my story and stuff.
And not digging too deep, but tell us a little bit about your story. What's the story behind Amber Brown and how she became a director of peer support services for the Family Counseling Center?
Well, when I was younger, I definitely went through some things, seen some things that children shouldn't see that most of the people listening may have went through.
Right.
And so what I did is I found myself needing things in the world, a void that I had. And so what I did is I went into addiction, doing different things, a lot of things that our clients and the people that we serve actually go through. And so I got deep into addiction My family was also in addiction. And then as I grew and as I found myself and my faith, I ended up just, I had breakthrough in my life from cocaine addiction. I had breakthrough. And after that, I was able to move accordingly and find my strengths and the challenges that I faced in my life. And then after that, my family also did the same. So my brother, my mother, they work at FCC as well, helping people that are in recovery. And so, yeah, that's where I find myself, just understanding, having compassion where people are, letting them know, hey, if I can do it, you can do it.
And we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd with a very special guest on KDX AM 1590, Amber Brown. Talking a little bit about her story, a little bit about the services that offered for the Family Counseling Center. And it's also, refresh the memory, Family Counseling Center and Behavioral Health Services, correct?
Yes, FCC is a nonprofit. It is a certified community behavioral health organization, which is a specific type of behavioral health clinic, okay? Certified to provide comprehensive mental health and substance use services. And we meet federal standards, offering wide range of services, evidence-based practices, and care coordination.
And in talking a little bit about your services, where are you from originally, Amber?
I'm from Poplar Bluff, but I've worked in Butler, I've worked in Wayne, different counties all over.
And you were the lucky one. Whenever I reached out to Family Counseling Center, they said there was an excellent person who would be perfect for this, Amber Brown. And tell me a little bit about your day-to-day activities as the Director of Peer Support Services.
Absolutely. So I make sure the peers are doing well. Peer supports are those, like I said, with lived experience that have come and joined FCC to not be scared or shy or feel ashamed of what has happened in their life, but now they can actually go and reach those that are going through it, and they can meet them where they are. So I will provide mentorship to them, support to them and their supervisors, because peer support is a different aspect. We have our clinical role, and then the peer supports brings a lived experience, can meet you where you are. You can tell me and teach me and talk to me and provide therapy to me and give me medicine, make sure I'm okay. But the people that are peer supports, they really are out there taking our clients by the hand, the people that we serve, and saying, hey, I'm walking through this with you.
And in talking a little bit about these peer support individuals, they're individuals who's had drug addiction in the past. They've had mental health issues in the past. They've had all kinds of issues, and they've overcome that. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And in talking a little bit about this, it's very important in our region, because two of the things that we really focus on, or we should focus on, is the fact that there's a real need for mental health care and also for drug and alcohol addiction in this region. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
And this program allows individuals who are suffering to reach out to someone who's fought these addictions and won. Is that basically correct?
Yes, and we have something for everybody. I mean, you don't even have to have went through having substance use. We have mental health services. We have inpatient treatment for adolescent and for adults. We meet you where you are. You come in, you do an assessment, and they say, okay, this is what you need. This is where you are. Let's take you where you need to be and where you want to go.
And, a lot of things, as we're here with Welcome to the Booth with Amber Brown, from the FCC Behavioral Health on KDX AM 1590. A lot of individuals say, you know what, there's nothing out there. There's no services for me. How would I get a hold of these services? Where would I reach out to? What would be my first step if I needed something?
Absolutely. Well, the first step is saying, hey, I'm not going to listen to the stigma or to what people think and not get help that I need. So the first thing is, number one, thank you for reaching out. We want to say thank you. And so what you would do is you can contact us. Our phone number is 573-888-5925. We also have a website, www.fccinc.org. You can text even that number that I just gave you, or you can email info@fccinc.org. So just reach out, and there's someone that will be able to talk to you and help you along the way.
And it's anywhere in the 19-county region. Is there any kind of region that you wouldn't be able to do any assistance for, or is it anywhere in the state of Missouri?
No, it's really the 19 counties.
Okay.
And so I want to let everybody know it is Dunklin County, Pemiscot County, New Madrid, Mississippi, Scott, Stoddard, Cape Girardeau, Butler, Wayne, Reynolds, Carter, Ripley, Shannon, Oregon, Texas, Howell, Douglas, Ozark, and Wright.
So it goes all the way up to the lake in Ozark County, and then all the way down to the Tennessee and the Arkansas state lines.
Yes, sir.
With Dunklin and as well as Penobscot County. So it's a very widespread area that people can reach out and really get services they need. And we're talking with Amber Brown, Director of Peer Support Services. How many individuals do you currently supervise, Amber?
So I would say we have about 70 peer support and growing. And then I would say about 16, 17 supervisors that I just help, because they're their number one go-tos for the peers. But I am definitely that extra help. And I just make sure that we keep track of everything, that the peers are doing what they're supposed to do, that they also are provided self-care for themselves and taking care of themselves, because as you know, it can be difficult sometimes when people are in recovery. Also taking care of other people that are in recovery, they can be that hope, but you have to make sure not to forget about yourself.
That's right. A lot of times, it's kind of like the person who has high blood pressure. They want to take the medication, then they check their blood pressure, and everything's great, and then they stop taking their blood pressure and medicine, and they don't understand why their blood pressures went back up.
Come on now. That's it.
So it's very important for these individuals to, as I like to say, sometimes you just need to unpack your bags, and you need to be able to tell people your story and let things out, because a lot of people think that if I just keep it all in, that's all I need to do. But that's not correct, is it?
No, it's not. It actually makes it worse, and you'll start seeing it come up in anger. You'll have aggression. You'll have anxiety easier. So I want everyone to understand that we are really here for you, to help you, to meet you where you are, and to let you know that it's really strength in asking for help. And so what we do is we talk to you and we find out what you've been through, because some people, they don't like to talk about what they've been through, but then they wonder why they're having the issues that they are right now in their life. And so we're definitely here to help you with that.
And we're here with Amber Brown from FCC and Behavioral Health on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. And we've talked a little bit about the FCC. We've talked a little bit about Amber. And let's get back to your story a little bit. You indicated when you were younger you had some issues that you overcome. At what point did you get to the point, and how did you get to the point where you say, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm ready to make a change?
Well, that's where you're going to bring me to my faith story. Because, when I was younger, I prayed, Jesus found me and he set me free. I'm going to totally be honest with you. And, I grew in my faith, but I still wasn't where I needed to be. And whenever I found out, I was in addiction, and I had prayed, and I had told God that I wanted to change, but I wasn't allowing myself to change. And so you can want something, but if you don't take action on doing it, then that is going to keep you where you are. And so I tried to take my life. And I'm telling you, Jesus met me where I was, and that moment changed my life forever. I had breakthrough in my life like I've never had before. I never went back to cocaine addiction. I never wanted it. I've never had it since. And I was 17 years old. And I changed my life. And
tell me a little bit about the difficulty that people have whenever they're trying to break addictions. I'm an attorney by trade. I deal with individuals who have committed crimes and eventually may or may not go to the penitentiary, but are put on probation. And when we put them on probation, we tell them, hey, you can no longer associate with anyone else who's on probation or anyone who's got these issues, knowing that it's probably the individuals that they've been around their entire life, that they don't have any other friend set, they don't have any other people. How do we break that cycle, and what do we do? Is that the importance of the peer system that you're talking about for FCC and what you do?
Yes, and also, you talk about that. My brother has a great testimony, has a great story, and he went to DOC. He has that where he had to get away from people. There were people that he was close to, and then there were people that he needed to walk away from. And so when you come out of that environment, yes, you don't need to be spending time with the same people. Some of the same people will take you back to where you don't want to be, but also you need to have that support system. You can't take everybody away from them.
And in dealing with the FCC and Amber Brown here on Welcome to the Booth, KDX AM 1590. Do you also take an active role, or does the FCC take an active role in what's called drug courts or things of that nature in Southeast Missouri?
Yes, we do.
Talk a little bit about what that role is.
Yeah, they definitely meet them where they are, and they take them through the court system, providing them with services, resources, meeting them when they get out. Even while they're in, and if you want more information on that, you can call the number and ask to talk to the drug court program, to be able to get all the specifics on that, because you're cared about and you matter.
And just one more time, and we're going to throw this number and this information out several times because I think it's very important. If anyone is needing any kind of assistance, drug-related, health-related, mental health, things of that nature, who would they reach out and contact? Just so they'll have that number one more time.
Yeah, it's the 888 number, 5925.
And they can also text that number. Is that correct?
They can text that number as well.
And there's also a internet.
Yeah, www.fccinc.org. That has everything on there, even employment.
And the next thing people are going to say is, well, I can't afford this. I don't have insurance. I don't have the ability to pay. How does FCC handle that kind of issue?
They also have a sliding scale for those that are uninsured or that need help, and then you can discuss that with them, and they will work with you on what you can do.
But I think the one thing to know is FCC is never going to turn someone down that's in need. Is that correct?
That's correct. We try to find some way, some resource.
Right. And you have a outstanding ability to do that because, like you said, FCC was founded in
76
in a garage.
In a basement, let me tell you, and has grown so much. That just gives us hope. It gives us hope that if you just have a vision and you want to help people, see, FCC is all about meeting the needs of the people. They provide solutions to the communities that they serve, and I'm just so thankful and grateful for that.
And I may be asking you some information that may be a little out of your box. It may not be. Just go through some of the services and some of the things that FCC has. I know, do they have a facility in Cape Girardeau for females? Is that correct?
They do. That's Serenity Point, sir.
Yeah. So just talk about, they also have the C-Star program here in Kent. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's for juveniles?
Yes.
And what are some of the other services that they have?
So they also have Stapleton Center in Hayti. It's inpatient. They have Turning Leaf. That's in West Plains. We do substance use, so outpatient substance use, where they do group therapy, they do assessment, they just help them along the way. We have crisis services, so now we have a mobile unit. You can call 988 anytime. They send out a mobile unit, or we have a crisis center in Poplar Bluff.
And let's stop and talk about that because I think that's very important. And that has to do with the mental health issue. Is that correct?
Yes.
So if someone's having a mental health issue, for instance, I think the jail also utilizes this in the area, the region. They can call a number 988. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there's a mobile unit that comes out and helps with that situation?
Yeah, so when you call 988, you talk to the person that is on the phone, and then they will direct you to a mobile unit or to, FCC or another organization. You'll talk to them and then get provided services. And the mobile unit will go out and meet people if needed.
And we're here on KDX AM 1590. Welcome to the booth with Darren Todd. We're talking with Amber Brown from the Family Counseling Center. And we're talking a little bit about their resources. How many employees does Family Counseling Center have at this point? Would you have any idea?
We have a lot. I think we have 9,800 to 1,000. I mean, we have a lot.
So you're talking about 1,000 employees through the 19-county region,
Yes.
which stretches from the Ozark County all the way down to the Boot Hill and Pemiscot in Dunklin County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We also talk a lot about, you said that you do a podcast. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I know
I'm working on it.
I know you're blushing and you're but let's talk a little bit about that because I think that's interesting. I think it's very important for people who have the ability to get their testimony out there who want to do it. Tell me a little bit about what made you decide to do the podcast. And the name of the podcast is
Rise to the Mission.
And you can check it out on Amber Brown Facebook, correct?
Yes, Amber M. Brown.
Okay.
And YouTube. So I really wanted to encourage people. You know, there are times in our lives where we don't feel like there's hope, and we feel like we're in the darkness, and we feel like we're in the pit and we can't get out. And I have now been able to experience the other side of that, and I want everyone to be able to hear and know that it can happen. And not only just myself, but my whole family got free, and my whole family is living in recovery. And I see so many families give up on their loved ones, and so many people give up on those that have went through substance use and or that went to prison and that live on the streets, and they have no idea what they're going through. They just see them where they are. And so Rise to the Mission is all about having faith in recovery, and also just meeting you where you are and encouraging you for the future.
And I think it's very important for individuals whenever, for instance, if I come to you and I had an issue, knowing that you've lived this situation, you've been there, you've overcome it, it's possible, because people want to say, you just need to grab yourself by your bootstraps and pull yourself up out of this. This is how it goes. It's not always that easy, is it?
No, it's not. Not for everybody, not all the time, not at all. Now, the only time where it's easy is when the Lord will meet you where you are and will give you a breakthrough just like that, supernatural like He did me. But that's not everybody's story. Some people have to go to rehab. Somebody have to go to prison and be able to find themselves where they are and be able to change and grow and say, you know what, I'm not living the way that I want to live. There's hope. And there's so many people that I've talked to in the jail, because even before being the director, I was a CBHL. So I went into the jails.
And let's talk about that. You're throwing out some initials that a lot of people who are not familiar with it may not be familiar with. Here with Amber Brown, and welcome to the booth. Darren Todd, KDX AM 1590. And you indicated before you became the director of peer support services, you were a what?
A CBHL, a community behavioral health liaison.
And explain what that is.
So I would work with law enforcement, work in the court system, go in the jails and see people and provide them with services, reach them where they were, meet them there, and then link them to where they needed to go.
So whenever you went to these individuals, and I know a lot of people who are looking at individuals who are charged with crimes, drug addiction, stealing, things of that nature, what percentage did you think of those had some kind of mental health issue that was undiagnosed or untreated?
Most of them.
And do you think that they were trying to self-medicate or do things to try to help them by doing illegal drugs?
Oh, they were definitely trying to self-medicate because they have stories to tell. There are things, there's trauma in their life that they have not been helped through, they have not talked about, they have not gotten through, which has led them to making the decisions that they're at and using the substances that they were using. And especially men really feel like if they ask for help, they're weak, and they worry about because men have some egos. I'm just gonna say, so do women.
Right.
But in general, a lot of men won't ask for help because they don't want to look like they're weak. But there's a lot of men I talk to, and they break down to me when we talk about services and resources, and are just thankful that somebody's there to listen.
And in talking about that, being raised in certain generations, men were taught that, we're the father figure, we're the provider. Everybody should follow our lead, do what we say. And sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to work out. And it results in difficult situations. You have a couple kids at home, you lose your job, you can't find employment, things kind of spiral out of control. Does FCC and behavioral health also try to help people when they're dealing with their mental health, try to help them find employment and things of that nature as well?
Yes, we do, and that's what peer supports do. They help you try to find employment, fill out applications, do resumes, all that good stuff.
And do you have stronger connections and the ability, if you are a peer support, helping them give these applications? Do you say, hey, we have a real good connection with Briggs & Stratton, or we have a real good connection with this facility, and we can help you maybe find something easier due to the fact that we are FCC and we've reached out so many times?
We really just do everybody. We say, here, what are your skills? What are you skilled at? And here, we'll help you along the way, and you go ahead and turn it in, because we really feel like we like to empower people to be able to do that themselves.
And we're here with Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd, with Amber Brown from FCC and Behavioral Health. She's the Director of Peer Support Services. We've been talking a lot about the FCC. And I think, talking about a little bit about that, Amber, a lot of people can't handle someone saying no to them. Do you also try to help people understand that not everything's always going to be amazingly great every day? There's going to be some ups and downs, and we're going to have to adjust how we do things?
Absolutely. And we walk them through it. So they have to understand and acknowledge and admit that too, though. And, we meet people where they are. So we can't force it. We can't force you to do anything. We can't force you to talk about anything, but we definitely make you acknowledge those things as you grow.
And do you also offer some kind of a psychological or services such as counseling and things of that nature, in addition to helping them fill out applications, fill out things of that nature, and try to help them with the psychological effects that are going on in their mind?
Absolutely. We have psychiatry and we have counseling. So it's whatever you need. You could use separate, or if you have an ITCD, which is a dual diagnosis, so you have the mental health along with the substance use, then you have that same treatment team, and they make sure we're person-centered recovery and wellness. So when I think of FCC, I think that they are the perfect recipe for wellness and recovery. And so we have all the ingredients needed to help you out where you are and get you to where you want to be.
And one thing that a lot of people will also tell me is, hey, I don't have a car. I don't have the access. I don't have the ability to get there. Does FCC also try to resolve that issue?
So we have our peer support specialists who they're awesome. We provide them with resources. That's what peers do, provide the people with like SMTS. We find different resources in the areas for transportation, and we will have them given to them, and so they can call and they can get that transportation set up. If we are in areas where you don't have that, then yes, our peer support do help you get to your appointments with FCC.
So when you talk about SMTS, kind of expand on that for the listeners if you don't care.
SMTS is just a type of transportation service, I would say, in Poplar Bluff. I don't know how far out it goes, but because every area has a different transportation service, if they have that, where you can call and you can get transportation. Like if you have Medicaid, then Medicaid pays for it. That sort of thing. Medicare will cover it.
So a lot of the peer support specialists, they assist people in saying, hey, here's all the access to what we need to do to get yourself together. You're going to have to make some calls, or we'll help you make some calls in order to get all that lined out.
Absolutely.
Correctly.
We will help you to begin with, and we'll help you along the journey, but we promote empowerment for you. We want you to be able to be the voice in your own recovery and your own story, and that you make those decisions.
And we're here with Amber Brown, and welcome to the booth on KDX AM 1590, Darren Todd. And we've been talking a lot, Amber, about FCC, and we've also kind of been going back and forth with your story. You indicated that at some point when you were 17, you had an addiction that you overcame. You also indicated that your family all overcame. Yes. Are you the one who kind of led them out of addiction?
I would have to say yes. The Lord used me to be able to give them hope that, wow, if she did it, I can do it. And they eventually did. They found it within themselves to make that change and impact.
And you were originally from Poplar Bluff, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you were growing up, were there certain issues or things that led you down the path that you can kind of see with younger kids saying, hey, I know you think this is the way to go now, but you really should think about what the ramifications are of this particular action?
Absolutely. I love speaking to youth. Because that's really where you can meet them at that age. That's the very vital age. And so I saw a lot of things, and you always think that what you see is what you're always going to get, but where you are is not where you're always going to be. You're going to grow out of that. So really the peer pressure, is really at a high right now on teenagers making those decisions. They know to do right, but they don't because they feel pressured, or they don't know the importance of what no means, or they don't consider themselves first, but they kind of go with the flow, or their parents are in addiction, or they've experienced trauma in their lives and they're not getting help through it. They just quiet, they sit in silence. They're really screaming on the inside, but they sit in silence and they don't ask for help. And I would just say ask for help, and don't be scared to receive what you need, so that you don't grow up and have that kind of effect on others.
And does FCC and behavioral health have some kind of program in which they go into the schools to try to get children at a younger age and say, hey, we're here to help you. Let us know what's going on.
Absolutely. We have school-based services. And so what they do, they go into the schools and they're there during the school year. Even not during the school year, you can meet with them. You can meet with a CC. You can meet with a counselor. They have activities that they involve you in. So, yes, we have everything you need for the youth. We have Youth CPRC, which gives them activities that they can do throughout, like I said, the summer and throughout the year. And they just really meet youth where they're at.
And when you talk about the CPRC, what exactly are you referring to exactly in the CPRC?
Yeah, those are just services that we have where the youth can come in and they're involved in like group stuff and activities, and they can have therapy, they can see a doctor, that sort of thing, just everything tied into one.
And these summer programs and these programs after school, how would the student be able to get there, or how would they be able to go about getting involved? I mean, a lot of people, their parents don't have transportation, or they're working, or things of that nature. How will they be able to get to these facilities and these programs?
Well, I do know that if you call them, reach out, go on the website, call them at the number that we gave before, that there are peer support, I think, that can come and pick them up and take them to those types of things, or reach out to other resources.
And we're here with Amber Brown, and welcome to the booth on KDX AM 1590. Darren Todd talking a little bit about Family Counseling Center and behavioral health. We also talked a little bit about Amber and her story. She's also got a podcast that you can catch on the Amber Brown Facebook page and also YouTube. Amber, tell me a little bit about some services that I haven't talked to you about that you think are kind of important, that you think is really, really neat that FCC and behavioral health has available to the patrons of the region.
Well, I wanted to bring up our veterans outreach. Our veterans, a lot of people forget about our veterans, but veterans are so important. And if you are a veteran, thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely.
But we work with veterans. We have peer support that are veterans. We have therapists, doctors, people that are veterans that know where you are, that understand where you've been through. We work with the VA, different agencies to meet them where they are and provide services that they need. Some of them don't even know that they have availability for services and different things that they can be helped on. And so we're there to kind of be that voice and let them know. Also, housing, we help those with housing. That's a big, homelessness is just such a big, wide range, all over where we are. And so we definitely want to help meet those needs. You can't help everybody all the time, but we definitely have, we have SEMO Safe Haven. So that's in Kennett. It's an 8-bed residential unit for people.
And if you wanted to stay at Safe Haven, it's for individuals who are what?
That just are homeless.
Right.
Homeless, and then they're affordable permanent housing. So you can always try to get help on rental assistance. And then we have permanent housing program, which is funded by the Department of Housing, and it just provides rental assistance to people that are homeless. So mental health, SUD, which is substance use disorder, and co-occurring disabilities.
And let's talk a little bit about that's kind of a hot button issue here in the area, is housing and things of that nature. If someone was wanting to contact FCC and ask about the services helping with, rental payments or housing or things of that nature, will they call the numbers that we talked about earlier?
Yes, 888-5925. Ask for the housing department, and they will be able to answer all your questions.
And they would be able to direct you in where you're at and what you need to do, correct?
Absolutely.
And again, we're here with Amber Brown from the Family Counseling Center and Behavioral Health on KDX AM 1590. Darren Todd. We've been talking a lot about the services FCC, and I want to kind of just pick your brain a little bit. I think it's very interesting in talking about issues involving youth, because I have felt, or I know that I have 3 children, and I have luckily been able to make a fairly decent living and given my kids everything they want. Which is probably a hindrance to them, if you think about that. In this area, do you think that the socioeconomic divide causes a lot of issues for some children as they're going through, middle school, high school? Hey, little Johnny, for lack of a better thing, he has a brand new iPhone 20 or whatever we're talking about now, and then when he turns 16, he gets a brand new pickup truck. Meanwhile, some kids are just trying to find, lunch money to get along. Is that what causes a lot of the issues that you've realized or talked about or seen as you're doing the peer services?
Yeah, they feel left out of things, but here's the important aspect is that whenever we reach them, we have to meet them where they are and let them know that they matter, that the stuff on the outside doesn't matter as much, but they're young, they don't understand that. So we have to encourage them to learn who they are and how they feel and get in tune with that aspect of it instead of looking at the outside and let them know that, hey, if they're not getting what they need, then they start worrying about that other stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I understand the whole aspect because I am a single mother of two. And so I understand trying to meet those needs and give our kids everything that they want. But then they start getting to a place where they think they can have everything that they want and they don't understand to be humble. And so, but there's a lot of kids that deal with a lot of things from their parents. So I really feel like the parents, we need to do better. The parents need to do better in understanding that they can't take out their issues on their children, because then it has a ripple effect.
Sure. And one thing that I feel is very important is I and I don't know how to exactly say it in the correct words. It's, just because you were raised in a certain situation doesn't mean that you're going to be in that certain situation your entire life. If you want to get help, there's help available. That's what I think is a key that everybody should know. Is that correct?
Yes, and realizing it, because even myself, and I'll tell you, even though I broke free from addiction, there were still things in myself that I had to work on that would have been passed down, and still things that was passed down that I had to work on until I got to a place where I was like, okay, I'm different now. I've grown, I've matured. And our children, we have to have a little bit more grace for our children and just meet them where they are and teach them these things and the importance of caring about themselves.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I ask about the youth and going into the schools and explaining to the kids that everything is possible. Last year, and I'll just use this as an example because I was very impressed by it. My daughter, Annalise, lives in Zenith, and eventually my grandson, Walker, will be going to school at Zenith. She went to a graduation and this year, and there were a couple of graduates. One graduate had a full ride to MIT. The other had a full ride to Michigan State, and I think the other one had a full ride to Columbia, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's very important for kids to understand, hey, it's okay to have dreams, and if you're wanting to work hard to them, you can accomplish your dreams. Is that correct?
That's correct. Absolutely.
And I know we're kind of getting a little bit far afield, but FCC, through their peer support and things of that nature, can help these people understand that this is all possible. Is that correct?
Yes. And with the help of our whole treatment team, not just peer support, but our therapists and our doctors, and everybody really plays a part in that. But definitely peer support can say, hey, I've been where you are and I'm here with you and it's all going to be okay. Let's just take these steps and making sure that you make progress in that and that you grow.
And we're here with Amber Brown from Family Counseling Center and Behavioral Health. Welcome to the booth with KDX AM 1590. And Amber, we've talked a lot about things involving FCC. What is your personal favorite thing that you learned that FCC does that you're just like, wow, more people need to know about this?
Well, I want to tell you that we are hiring. So this is the biggest thing for me. I have never worked at such an amazing place. This has been absolutely amazing since I've been there. And I don't just say that because I work there. I say that because I have seen the growth. I have seen how they pour into their staff, not just giving us the resources that we need in order to help the community, but also giving us the resources to grow and to develop in our own ways, and so that we get better. It's like we're a well-oiled machine. And so I'm promoting FCC and to come and just join us. I know that they're having some open interviews. Anyone interested, August 21st from 10 to 2. That's at 875 Highway VV in Kennett. And so they're looking for all kinds of people. They're looking for clinical managers, care coordinators, diagnosticians, peer support specialists. So if you've been encouraged by my story and by what FCC is doing with their peers, then go ahead and come on out.
And if you were going to give them a rating of 1 to 10, it sounds like you're going to give them a 10 as far as someone to work for.
I'm going to give them a 10, 11, 12, 13. No, it's just, it's amazing. And there's always somebody that comes and stops me when I wear my FCC shirt or my badge. They always tell me, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much. People have gotten their kids back because a peer support will go. I remember doing that when I was a peer. I took this lady to court. And she kept fighting for her kids, after she was in substance use, fighting for her kids. And she was giving up because she's like, well, it seems like the court system is just not helping me. Like, I'm doing better and I really want my kids back. And so that is my absolute favorite thing about FCC is the difference that we get to make in people's lives and help them reach those goals. And now she has her kids back, and she said, thank you so much for being there for me and for encouraging me even in my dark days on giving up and everything and just taking me to help me do this.
And again, we're here with Amber Brown from Family Counseling Center Behavioral Health on Welcome to the Booth, KDX AM 1590, Darren Todd. And let's talk a little bit about the interaction that FCC has with the court system. You know, here in Dunklin and Stoddard County, there's a family treatment court program in which individuals who have their children removed because of abuse or neglect go through the program. And FCC is very integral in assisting those individuals. I think with counseling, peer support, things of that nature. And you indicated that you at one point helped someone and did that. Is that correct?
That is correct. Not in that particular program,
Right.
but we do play a part in that. I mean, peer supports are vital in this agency along with everybody else. And it's important that we understand the court system. If we can go be a voice for those that are going through with the lawyers and with the judges, just everybody that they're working with, I mean, we can really help pivot their future.
And I think it's, again, a lot of these people are just so lost as to what direction they need to go. They need someone to kind of guide them, kind of like a compass,
Yeah.
to say, hey, here's which direction is north. Here's where we're going to go. And again, like we said, not every day is a great day. There's some relapses and things of that nature. But all in all, don't you think that a majority of the people want to get help and want to do better than they have been in the past, the ones that you've dealt with?
A majority definitely does. There are some that just don't. They're not there yet. And so it's difficult when you're there trying to help them and trying to say, hey, I got the resources, let's do this. And they're saying, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready. But more people want the help and really want to change. They just don't have the resources. They don't have the support. And we can be that for them.
And again, you can reach out to them. There's the phone number, 888
5925.
They can also text that number. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there's also the website,
yes,
which is
www.fccinc.org, and that's where you can also apply.
And let's say that I'm not sure about what particular item or situation I need. Can I just call and talk to someone there and say, hey, here's my story, here's what's going on. Can you just help me, direct me in what I need to do?
You could actually go on the website, and it has everything that we do. It has different locations, it has the housing, it has the resources on there, and then you can just call, and then they'll direct you to who you want to talk to, or you can just go in and say, hey, let's do an assessment. Let's see where I am, see what resources are out there for me, and then you can go from there.
And has there ever been a situation, and I'm going to ask you a question that I hope the answer is no. Has there ever been a question in which someone has come to you and asked for some kind of resources or help, and FCC or behavioral health have been able to say there's nothing out there for you?
No, there's always something. There's always something.
And the key is just keep trying, correct?
Yeah, just keep trying and be willing and available. I know an issue that we have is trying to help get people housing, but they have pets and animals, and not every housing program will take that. And so they'd rather be homeless and live on the street than not have their animals, if that's all that they have and all the support that they have. And so that's really hard to
Right.
deal with.
And again, I'm not trying to pin you down. I'm just trying to talk a little bit about, if you were talking about the one major issue currently in our region that we're really, really battling, would you think it would be the drug issue? Would it be the mental health issue, or would it be some other issue?
I think it's both. I think a majority of the people go to substance use because they have first mental health. It's a mental health aspect. I don't think that anybody, I mean, there may be somebody, but I know from dealing with people and from talking with people that majority of the time the reason they go to substance use is because there's something that has happened in their life and they have not letting it go or talked about it or gotten through it. And so mental health is definitely something that we need to focus on. Don't let it be just like suicide. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death, but not everybody wants to talk about it, and not everybody reaches out because they think it's a stigma, and they think that people think that they're less than, or that, you know, they're ashamed of feeling that way, when that really can touch anybody. Suicide is definitely something that can reach anybody at any time. And so we have to be prepared for this. And so FCC, along with many other agencies and companies and organizations, are out there trying to meet you where you are so that you know that you're not alone.
And in talking a little bit about the unfortunate issue of suicide and things that we're talking about here on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd on KDXAM 1590. We're talking with Amber Brown from FCC and the Behavioral Health. Is there a certain number, if someone is feeling these suicidal thoughts or things of the nature, that they can reach out to, that they can say, just give us a call. We're here for you. We want to talk to you. We want this to be a situation in which somebody cares, and that's who we are.
Yes, that is 988. I want to shout it from the rooftop. It is 988, not just for suicidal thoughts, but just crisis situations. But they will direct you. They have people that are on the other end of the line that will direct you where you need to go and give you what you need.
And I think it's important, as we're talking here with Amber Brown from FCC and Behavioral Health, that the people in this region care about the people of the region. And we want everybody to be happy and successful. If you're having an issue, something with mental health, something suicidal thoughts, call that 988 number. If you're having an issue with just general things, and then call the 888
5925.
Or text that number. Get on the website. A lot of people say, well, I don't have access to a computer. I think a lot of people don't realize you can go to your local library and you have free access to the internet or whatever you need to.
Yes, you can.
Or just go to any one of the numerous facilities of FCC. They can just walk in. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And they can just kind of say, hey, I need help. I need something to fill out, and go from there.
Yes, and our crisis center in Poplar Bluff, it's actually open from 10 to 8, and they take their last person at 7. So it's an urgent care model, and it's absolutely amazing. They have people, they have a treatment team there to be able to help you. It's voluntary, so it's not involuntary. You have to be wanting to go and get help for a crisis situation.
And that facility is located at?
It's at 686 Lester in Poplar Bluff.
And it's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
10 to 8. They take their last person at 7.
Okay. And it's open to anybody who needs to be there. And again, individuals may say, well, I don't have the ability to get there, things of that nature. If you contact FCC, they also have the ability to set up transportation. They'll put you in a situation in which you'll find someone who can help you get to where you need to be. Is that correct?
Yes, and that number to the crisis center is 573-818-2642, and they can be there to answer your questions.
So there's been a lot of information, and I think one of the things that's coming up, and I think you're very excited about, is back to school. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's some stuff going on around here.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on for back to school in the region that you want to talk about. Just read through those and let the people know. Again, we're here on Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd on KDX AM 1590, Amber Brown from FCC and Behavioral Health. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the back to school things that are going on in this region.
Absolutely. So Sheryl Crow Aquatic Center is presenting their Back to School Bash. That is August 11th from 5:30 to 7. There's going to be competitions to win prizes and door prizes. Come on, you don't want to miss out. So admission will be school supplies or a monetary donation towards school supplies. So that's great. And then August 23rd from 1 to 4, it's going to be on Main Street across from the fire department there in downtown Encinitas, Missouri. The entry fee is one school supply per person, and so that's going to be a back-to-school block party. So it's presented by Zenith Community Club and Fire Department, so that's an awesome thing that's going on. August 18th from 4 to 5:15 at First United Methodist Church Christian Life Center, that's in Kennett. They are having a free back-to-school fair, so bring your children. Those are going to be awesome opportunities to get all the supplies that you need. So some more back-to-school local events in Malden. It's going to be 5:30 to 7, August 11th at the Malden Community Center. There's Campbell, August 18th from 5:30 to 7. That is going to be their back-to-school event, and so that's exciting. And then, of course, the ones from Kennett.
And we've talked a lot about back-to-school things, and there's some other. So in the event that, again, I'm concerned about any of the services, or I'm looking for any of the services from FCC and Behavioral Health, I can call the phone number. I know we've talked about it a lot, but I think we can only get the number out there. We can't get it out there too much.
888-5925.
And there's also the website that we've talked about.
Yes, and that is www.fccinc.org.
And then we also have the Amber Brown Facebook page, which I know you probably have all this stuff listed, don't you? I'm just kidding. Let's talk a little bit about the Amber Brown Facebook page because you indicated also you have a podcast.
Yes, I do. I'm still working on it. It's still getting built up, but yes, I have been doing that. And this week is actually testimony week. So I've had different testimonies from people with lived experience, and I love it. I love giving people hope.
And I think it's very important that individuals know that you're not someone who hasn't lived the issues that they've lived, and you succeeded and you've overcome them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I published books, and I am doing some coaching too to meet you where you are and help you get to where you're going.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. You say you've published some books?
Yes, sir.
We'll talk a little bit about the books you've published.
So I published Rise to the Mission. That was the jump start. That's what got me going, and just encouraging the people that, hey, there is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to make those moves. And then I have a prophetic reconstruction book that I talk about the Word of God and things to come. And then there's Shaking Hands with Wisdom I'm the co-author on, and that is really about mentor-mentee. And so I want everyone to really understand that it's important to understand that you have to learn and grow and be a student every single day, that we don't know everything, and that it's good to lean on other people.
And as I can tell, this is Darren Todd, and welcome to the booth, KDX AM 1590. I'm here with Amber Brown. Amber does not like to self-promote, so I'm going to go out on a little limb and say, if I wanted to purchase those books, Amber, how would I go about doing that?
You can contact me on Facebook or email me risetothemission@gmail.com, and I will get them to you.
And you indicated there are more books in the works, or is it just...
There is. And you can go on Amazon. Look them up on Amazon. They're there.
Okay. And then you talked a little bit, you also have your podcast as well that you're still working on. That's also on the Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
And again, for everyone who's interested, you're the director of Peer Support Services.
Yes.
And we've talked a little bit about Family Counseling Center, Behavioral Health. There's also FCC, Behavioral Health, is also still looking for more people. Is that
more
correct?
people. Come on out. We want to see you.
Yeah.
We want to see you. It's so fun, too.
And give those dates one more time for the listeners.
Okay, so the open interviews is August 21st from 10 to 2. That address is 875 Highway VV in Kennett. We're looking for you. Just bring your resume. Stop by anytime during the event. We have a team that's there to talk to you. We really want you to be a part, and especially peer supports. Come on out. People that want to be a peer, people that with lived experience, don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. Don't be ashamed of your past, but help somebody else where they're going.
And I think, it's very important for individuals to know that Amber has lived it. She's done it. She's overcame it. You can do it as well. And again, we're winding down here a little bit. FCC, just so we kind of go over everything, it covers about 19 counties.
Yes, and our core counties are Dunklin, Pemiscot, Butler, Wayne, Reynolds, Ripley, and Carter.
And again, you can contact them. Go to any of the facilities. There's numerous opportunities on the website. There's also the ability to contact them by phone. Don't forget about the numerous ideas and things that are coming up for the back to school.
Yes.
And again, what you're saying is if anybody out there needs any kind of help with anything in general, substance abuse, mental health, housing, anything that they're upset about or having issues with, contact Family Counseling Center and Behavioral Health, and they will direct you in the right direction. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We will be able to help you, or we refer you to where you need to go.
And we've got a couple books that you've published. We can get on Amazon, and we can also get on Amber Brown Facebook page and get those. The podcast is going to be very successful. It's going to be on Amber Brown as well. And in talking a little bit about this, I'm very pleased that you've came on today. I hope you've enjoyed Welcome to the Booth with Darren Todd.
I have. Thank you.
On KDX AM 1590. And I guess on behalf of my producer, Maureen Johnson, and my executive producer, we'd like to thank you for making us part of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow when we get back to more Welcome to the Booth. Amber, I hope you'll come back and visit with us again.
I definitely will. It was an honor.
Thank you very much.